next lecture is related to exports in MAPs, because the theme of our program is taking MAPs as a business venture. So for any business venture, आपको local market के बारे में भी पता होना चाहिए और export क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, उसके बारे में भी पता होना चाहिए. Because ultimately, what are the requisites of the exports? Exports होता है आपको एक ऐसी क्वालिटी प्रोवाइड करनी है जो इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में सरवाइव करे, जो इंटरनेशनल जो मार्केट में जो प्रीरिक्विजिट्स होते हैं उसको उस पे वो खरा उतरे, और you can have a competition then internationally. So how much is export important for MAPs, and why it is increasing day by day? Because after the COVID, you might have recognized people are becoming more conscious of their health, and they are more inclined towards nature. So इतना वेस्ट में इतना ज़्यादा नेचर की तरफ इंक्लिनेशन हुआ है that these products which are prepared from natural products and medicinal plants, they are in huge demand right now. So export का क्या रोल है इसमें, export क्या होता है, क्या requirement है export की, उस सब को समझने के लिए हमारे पास आज हैं डॉक्टर अशफाक ठाकुर साहब जो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ कॉमर्स से हैं, एंड जो एक्चुअली एक्सपोर्ट को लेके ही जिनकी स्पेशलाइजेशन है. So I invite now sir for their lecture. Thank you.
Walaikum warahmatullah. Myself, Dr. Ishfaq, I am teaching in Department of Commerce, University of Kashmir. As this program is going on, the medical and aromatic plants and its contribution in the national economy and its prospects in the international market. If we are, maybe you may be knowing about it in a recent time, like Madam has said it, that since the COVID, the attitude of West towards the chemical-based medicine has changed. They are now moving more towards this herbal and medicinal plants for their well-being, using herbal products, using natural products, and this market is now booming day after day. It is a study by World Health Organization. They have said that they have found that 80% population of the developed world are now moving towards natural products. They are avoiding the products which contain the chemicals. They are now using the herbal products like beauty products. These markets are increasing day by day. It's not only in international market, but also in the local market. Look at the increase in the market. In 1999, the global market for maps was $1.1 billion. And it has increased to $1.8 billion to $3 billion, and now the market is $35.4 billion. You can see the increase in the market from 1 billion in 1999 to 35.4 billion. And it is again found by World Health Organization that this market is going to be 5 trillion by 2050. That means there is huge potential for these medicinal and herbal products in the international market. 5 trillion means, if you look at Indian economy now, it's 2 trillion. That means it's 2.5 times Indian economy. It's a huge market. But when it comes to the supply side, there are a lot of challenges in the international market. The suppliers are not going to meet this challenge. We will see when we will go forward, we will see what are the challenges. This is a global herbal medicine market that's currently $165.13 billion. Again, this market is going to be $386.7 billion in 2032. यानी कि in next 10 years आप देखेंगे कि इसमें भी two-fold increase होने वाला है. There is huge potential. You can export as much as you can. There is no limitation on the supply side because demand is going to increase in the international. But unfortunately, what happens whenever we talk about these exports, there is market, but the question is, are we ready to supply the requisite amount of these supplies? Who is dominating the market? If you will see, अगर आप देखेंगे internationally, globally, जब आप medicinal and herbal plants के बारे में देखेंगे तो number 1 पे है China, number 1, number 2 पे है India, but the gap is huge. China is contributing almost 30% and India is contributing just 12-13%. There's a gap between first player and second player. Even in these herbal medicine markets, if you will look the supply in the world market, it's Western herbalism that is still dominating the market by 45.9%. There's a contribution of Western herbalism. Traditional Chinese medicine 36.6%. Then we have homeopathics 9.7% and Indian Ayurvedic is just 7.8%. There is a huge gap between two, India and China. But the question is, what is special about China? Why they are moving so fast than India? Not only in these herbal plants and aromatics and medicinal plants, but in other businesses. Is there a special thing about China? I have studied myself Chinese industries. The chief quality of China is they plan in advance. If they are dominating market now, it's only because they have planned it 40 years ahead. They're not like the opportunity will come and they will just grab and they will see results in 2, 3 years or 5 years. No, they think in the line of 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, where we will be in next 40 years. They started planning for these medicinal plants in 1980s. Cultivation of it. Cultivation away from these forests. Local cultivation. What you call ex situ cultivation. They invest in research and development. I was studying in textile industry, exports from China. The main component in textiles is labor cost. The countries who have lower labor cost are more export competitive. When I studied it, I found in India the cost is 500. In China it is 1400. So the logic says that India should export more. But again, the thing was that India was nowhere as compared to China. Because India does not have quality. If you want to survive in the international market, you must have quality. You must have investment in research and development. You must plan in advance. You can't do things in hurry. Okay. Look what is happening in the Western world. They are now looking back to the traditional medicine, like where traditional Chinese medicine or traditional Indian system of medicine. And the major consumers in the world are Japan, USA, and Europe. They are the major consumers. They are ready to consume, they are ready to buy, they are ready to import. If only you are going to export. And while India and China are the most important map suppliers in Asia, they are the top suppliers. ये supply कर रहे हैं, वो consume कर रहे हैं. लेकिन फिर भी आप देखेंगे चाइना आगे बढ़ रहा है, चाइना मार्केट को ग्रैब कर रहा है. You say the $5 trillion economy. It means it is a 2.5 times Indian economy. Itna bada market. So you don't have problems on demand side. There is demand. We had one workshop in Kashmir University where there were some participants from Arab world. They were buying fish. And one of the participants said, why you are not buying from us? They said, oh, we are ready to buy. But suppliers, per day, 100 containers. And when they surveyed in the Kashmir, we were producing in a year 100 containers. They said, no, we want per day. That's what global demand is. Why should, like one of our participants are asking why it's not happening. The question is, why should a supplier, why should a buyer buy you when you are not supplying him requisite quantity and quality? The question is, the main problem is neither we are able to supply that much of quantity, nor such a quality. Because then you need a research and development. You need experiments. Like one of the philosophers said, it's the most difficult thing is to utter a new word or take a new step. You have to take new step. You have to take risk. I was giving the impression this is about the entrepreneurship. First and foremost thing is what is entrepreneur. In our language, we say entrepreneur is one who takes risk, who is not afraid of failure. You have to be ready, okay, tomorrow my venture will fail. But for that thing, you need to have such kind of a mindset. Like you call today Israel as a startup country. Yes, startup. The world's most startups happens in Israel. Why? They have built this mindset. They are ready to face the failure. Whenever any startup is failure, they don't blame that person that you have done something wrong. They congratulate that person. Look, at least you tried. Tries must. You will have failures. You can't see fruits for years. Perhaps last few days ago, I was seeing Amazon's first office. It was a single table, a computer, and a banner written behind him, Amazon.com. Now it's a multi-billion-dollar company. It began with just a one company. 20, 30 years down the line, it's now. Everyone knows Amazon. What is Amazon? India's contribution? India is beyond China. Like India is the world's second largest exporter of herbal medicines. More than 70% of demand for herbal medicines worldwide is produced in India and China. In 2017, India exports raw herbs valued 330.18 billion and increased by 14.22 over the previous year. But we have another problem. Again, you will see the lack of investment in R&D, innovation. What happens? We are mostly the exporter of raw products. We don't process it. We let other countries process and then they export it back. That's another problem. Global source of maps, अगर आप देखेंगे, this is the top exporting countries जो दुनिया में एक्सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं इस वक्त. इंडिया इसमें आप देखेंगे चाइना का कंट्रीब्यूशन 24%. We have India 16%, Canada now it is declining. USA, these are the top exporting countries in the world. These are the global importing countries who import these products. Like again, China is importing, US is importing, Hong Kong is, Japan is, Germany, France, mostly they are European countries. It is because of these developed nations that this industry is booming. This industry is going to be a new mantra in the international trade. You can, especially the benefits for small farmers, little farmers, they can have it. But again, the problem is like we have plant species and production areas for maps, in some countries. China, it is 46,000 hectare areas. And they have 250 kind of species. India is number second. It's 30,150 species. Then you can say Turkey, US, Hungary, Canada, Poland, France, Spain, Romania, Bulgaria, Germany. But the market will be dominated by these two countries. Mostly by China. Look what China did. China never allowed modern medicine to dominate its market. They never, from the first day, they never. What they did, they complemented their traditional Chinese medical system and the modern. They said you have to complement each other. No, you can't compete. What is happening in India? Here is competition between the two. They are complementing each other. They are completing each other. One of my cousins, she is doing, she has completed doctorate in Ayurvedics. She was looking that I am thinking about going for civil service. So after doctor, why you should go? You have no market. There is no market. It's not market, it's a mindset. It's mindset because we are feeling inferiority complex regarding our own systems, regarding our traditional systems. Look, what will happen tomorrow? Tomorrow a multinational company will come in Kashmir and they will find out what kind of species you have here. They will invest in research and development. They will get a new breed. They will patent it. Then they will forbid you people to cultivate it. Then you will have no choice. They will just say that it is our own species. That's what will going to happen because there is demand. Why multinationals were not coming here so far? Because there was not such a demand. The demand was for modern medicines, not for this. Now the shift is going towards traditional medicines and they will come. They are already here, they are already contract farming. If you will see in India, they have contract farming. They give contracts to farmers. Ask them to cultivate for them. But ensuring again the quantity and the quality. If you are going to provide such kind of a quality. Now, what is another opportunity for countries like India and China is that Europe was one of the sources of these plants, but there is not much land available now for the cultivation. They have reached their lowest point. So this market is going to shift again to developing nations. Like on the other hand, it is seen that both the number of species grown and the size of the production area are fairly considerable in India and China. Again, these two countries. It's not only in medicinal plants, but in other things also. That these are going to the big giants, but India has a potential, given its biodiversity, given its climate, they are suitable for such kind of cultivations. But what's problem with India? Most of the medical herbs are collected through wild harvest. This is a problem in India. You are going to directly, you are not cultivating it. You are just going harvesting and like we saw some of the videos. You are going to the forest, you are harvesting it without thinking about cultivation. That means a recent study by the professor of University of Kashmir, Botany, Ishfaq, they have found in Kashmir there are 50 species. They are going to be wiped out from the Kashmir. There will be no trace of them if they are not preserved. Because again, it's just who cares in forest for new cultivation? Nobody will care. If you are not taking this to the land, like if you will see that our crops are here, like we have rice, we have paddy. Once they were also wild plants. It is a human who cultivated. It's a human who brought them to the cultivating ground and cultivated them and turned them into a valuable crops. Same is the case with these medicinal plants. There is need now to cultivate them. The high-value medical plants have poor density and required to be cultivated ex situ on a large scale over extensive areas so that the pressure of collection from wild is reduced. You can cultivate them. Keeping in the mind the international market. Not only international market, your own domestic market. That's going to be huge. There is contract farming already going in Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, your Shimla. These big companies are coming to the farmers and they are providing not only their livelihoods but are preserving their own species in these medicinal plants. Like we have domestic market. In domestic market we have like Dabur, Himalaya taking steps towards contract farming and procurements of raw material directly from the cultivators. Himalaya Ayurvedic tied up one of its key suppliers, Gram Moliga Company Limited, set up 75-acre nursery of high-active ingredients plant species near Budari in Tamil Nadu. Like it has 4,000 acres of lands under medicinal plant cultivation. We don't have in Kashmir. We are still dependent on forests. Where do we need from forest? We don't have such kind of a vision to we can come up from forest and start cultivating. Like we have seen in this video that we are cultivating barren lands, all these things. But what about the general land? Why not replace the crops, earlier crops, if this is more beneficial? If this has the market? Medicinal or cultivation is estimated to contribute about 75 crore annually after 5 years, with the expectation of this figure rising to 783 crores by 2037. This is domestic, this is not international. International market is 5 trillion. This is a domestic market. Locally, even if you are not going to export, still you have this kind of market, domestic market, where you can supply your products. This is an export of maps from India. This is how it happens. From 2009-10, it was 2887 crores export. Now in 2016-17, it is 7823 crores. Like your all items exports, it was 88,45,533 crore rupees. Now see the figure in 2016-17, it's on up to 2016-17 figure. Look the market. You have enough market. You have enough demand. Then why are we lacking? There is something must be done for this. Like this is plants and portion herbs, 274 point in 15, 16, 18 is 330. Ayush and herbal products 364 in 15, 16, it's now 456 US million dollars. The market is only growing. People are taking advantage of it. Outside the country, Rajasthan, they are taking advantage of it. But what is happening in our own state? Here you have all things. You have biodiversity, you have climate. You have species. You can grow them easily. You can cultivate them. But certain, maybe we are not ready. I'm always saying that in our India, especially northern India, the need is for mindset. We are not ready for it. We are not ready to take risks. We are not ready to wait 10 years down the line. Maybe that's the problem. Another countries, they are ready for it. They are taking, like Himalayas, you might be knowing about it. बहुत सारे लोगों ने इसके बारे में बोला भी होगा कि हिमालयाज में क्या है. Like we have in Kashmir, you might be already aware about it, that you have this biodiversity and climate, all these things. Whatever is needed for the cultivation of these plants is available here. But the question is again, the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, legal cultivation will help avoid such piracy and preserve the natural bioregimes. It's a study by United Nations Convention on Climate Change. They have also already found it, that in this land, in this region, the things are going worse. If species are going wiped out from the market, how could you expect that you will tomorrow supply to the international market? There will be no supply from this region. These are the initiatives taken by J&K government in this sector. Like we have medicine and aromatic sector in Jammu and Kashmir to bring substantial economic benefit to the region. They have already designated 21 hectares were utilized for growing medical plants in 2017. Now it is going 24, 28 and 25 hectares, increasing day by day. In another case, showing the seriousness of the issue, Government of India launched its Purple Rule. And its most prominent target is the state UT of J&K. What they are doing, they are funding to aim to support domestic aromatic crop-based agroeconomy by switching from imported aromatic oils to homegrown variety, like lavender. They are supporting you. They are encouraging you to take this initiative and go into the international market, or at least supply in the domestic market. Because we are still importing, despite having a lot of potential in domestic market, especially in this area. We are importing these oils. The question again comes to what? The quality. We are not able to preserve the quality. Like Sir said about the saffron, that there is a difference between two. One is duplicate. In our language, we say it's a rule of origin. In international market, there is one thing that's called this certified by WTO. That's rule of origin. Rule of origin हमें ये कहता है कि ये product किस जमीन से निकला है, इसकी अपनी एक value हो और इसका एक patent हो. For example, if tomorrow you are able to cultivate a high density product, high value, and it has a good quality, you can go for patent. That will be not your individual patent, that will be the rule of origin. You will say that this product, this plant is grown in Kashmir and it will have its own value in the international market. Otherwise, there's nothing called that it's a duplicate saffron or it's original saffron. It's all, both are original. Both are grown from the land, but one is from another land, one is from Kashmir. Because it has its own value, this rule of origin. You can have patent on it. And nobody can break that patent. You will have this intellectual property rights. If you are able to cultivate such of minds and cultivate such a breed, that tomorrow you can have patent. Otherwise, the day is not far away when the multinationals will come and they will patent. And in your own land. Because they have this capacity. They are always looking, I was looking for some study. There is already studied by WTO, WHO, studied by United Nations, studied by multinational corporations. They are researching on the potential of this area. What kind of potential it has. Like we have during first phase assisted in cultivation of 66,000 hectares of land and reached 46 aspirational districts nationwide. More than 44,000 people have received training and farmers have made substantial fortunes. Moving forward in phase 7, it is envisaged to employ more than 45,000 competent human resources with the goal of assisting more than 75,000 farming households nationwide. Indian government is taking steps, but I think, given the global demand, that's not enough. Because what happens? What happens in the international market? if you are not able to supply some other countries with? What happens in textile? India lacked, Bangladesh took the opportunity. Simple. If you are not going to supply, some other countries will. They will cultivate their own land and they will supply. Once they are the reliable suppliers with good quality, why should multinationals come to you when you are not able to supply? That's simple. If I am a businessman, if likely you are going to be entrepreneurs, you are yourself businessman, why should you rely on such supplier? It's a simple question. If you have the option for a better supplier, why should you rely on others or not reliable? In this case, like another, we have this one district, one product as export hub. That was scheme launched by the cultivation to has experienced significant boom. Like lavender has been designated by the central government as Doda brand product. Now land, it has been branded. Tomorrow, if you are cultivating lavender, maybe you have to feel the competition from this. Because they are way far ahead of you. It's not that they would have done it over the night. They would have been preparing this for years, cultivating, without world knowing about them. What the government realized, this area has a potential. They are doing this business for years and years. Let's recognize their efforts. And they gave them Doda brand product. Now this is their brand. Maybe when I became aware about that, if I have to buy tomorrow lavender, maybe I will look for Doda brand. Because it's business is all about perception. If in your mind you create some perception that our product is very good, people they will trust you. They trust you with everything in business. We call it the merchant ethics. Like CSR industry, I discussed this thing. Look, I was talking about this, like we are talking about, we have export, we have to supply domestic market. But question is, are we looking at what is happening locally? This is a research by Kashmir University scholars. They have said, if there were 500 plants of any species at one decade ago, now their number has reached 50. This shows how much medicinal plants have been destroyed, as I was stated by Professor Ishfaq.
Who's this study is?
It's research done by Professor Ishfaq University of Kashmir.
This studies.
Yes.
There is always a department of forestry. What they are working on the ground level, the depots, conservation, field workers, these MTMS, then the forest guards. Then what how they are responsible in the forest area where the medicinal plants are naturally important and present. Why they get
The question is,
data?
for example, question is, if I am working in a forest, I am a forest guard, for example, there are medicinal plants. Do you think I would be aware about every medicinal plant that is a medicinal plant? For me, they would be grass. So what if that is getting destroyed? For I am not expert. I don't know what it is. It's grass. So why should I care about it? I would not care. But as an entrepreneur, as an expert, as a scientist, you know the value of a plant. You would say that it's not a grass. And now it is your responsibility, if you are really concerned about it, to cultivate it. Otherwise it will be destroyed. For example, I am from the field of business. Here are plants outside. They are different, I saw the labels there. For me, they are all same. I can't differentiate. I am not expert. I don't know what are. So we should not expect a forest guard should be aware about that this is a medicine. There are, for example, grazing is happening. Shepherd doesn't know this is a medicinal plant. Even if he does know, he don't care. Care is up to you, you entrepreneurs. You have to cultivate all these things. Look, these are reasons they have found for these, like overexploitation. This happening. For example, tomorrow we will. I know this is a medical plant. Okay, I need it, and I found it in the forest. Do you think I will care about overexploitation? No, I will take as much as I can, without thinking what will happen to the next. That's we call sustainable development. I will not care about. This is what I am. This is my human nature. But if I am a businessman who is thinking down the 50 line, I will definitely preserve it, cultivate it, try to multiply it. But if I am not, I am just an ordinary man who has no vision for the future, I will just do one thing. Take as much as benefit I can take in short term. Who cares about the long term? Like Kenny has said, in long term we are all dead. So care about short term. But businessmen does not think like this. They think down the line of 100 years. What their generations and generations will do. That's how they do things. That's a business mindset. Sex is exploiter. Maybe we are most probably fall on in that category. Not a businessman. Businessmen think a lot of, like we have now artificial intelligence. We think it's a yesterday's innovation. It's not like this. The work started in 1920. After 100 years, you have artificial intelligence. There are companies who thought on this line 100 years ago. Now they are doing it. Now they are reaping the fruits from this. Like where landslides, soil erosion, overgrazing, construction activities, deforestation, land use change, local use for fodder, flash foods, illicit trade, access to tourist flow. They are all the reasons that these species are wiping out from the market. And it's the responsibility of stakeholders to preserve. Now, what are the challenges for sustainable commercialization? If you want to commercialize things, then you need something to do for that. Challenges are large part of supply of maps in the near future. The majority will come from wild collection due to consumer demand for organic and natural products, making the issue of sustainable management of wild maps the biggest barrier to commercialization. How could you commercialize when there are no species? There are no plants. The conservation and sustainable usage will vary depending upon the species of plants, location component, and other factors, as well as techniques, site and season extension. These are the obstacles what we are facing. Limited technical capacity. Again, I would say that we are lacking this technical capacity. We are lacking way behind other countries. Like if Europe don't have enough land to cultivate it, but they have techniques, they have technology. They are very concerned about their products. They are doing new R&Ds. They are trying to preserve whatever they can preserve. But it's not happening here. Lack of high quality processing facilities. We don't have high quality processing facilities. That's why we are just exporter of raw material. Like we have steel in India, we are exporting raw steel to China. China is just processing it and exporting back. So it is not only that you have will to do things, it's a good thing. Having will, it's a good thing. But then there are practical needs. Practical needs are that, are we ready to improving the quality of our product? Like what happened with our these handicrafts? Who destroyed that? We sold counterfeited products. हम आज भी शॉल पंजाब से खरीदते हैं, यहाँ पर बोलते हैं कश्मीर, and now there is no value for it. आप कुछ भी कहो, अगर आप ओरिजिनल भी आज बेचते हो तो उसे शख्स की नज़र से देखेंगे कि ये नहीं सही होगा. क्वालिटी मैटर्स. इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में अगर आपको जाना है, क्वालिटी मैटर्स. You have to improve your quality. You have to be serious about your quality. And it takes years and decades to bring such quality. Do experiment with this. Look, nature will provide you raw things. It can't provide you quality. Raw thing, it's your duty to engineer, create hybrids. Like we have outside, there are hybrids. Who have created them? The humans. They are cultivating these. Lack of the production of subpar seed and planting materials, like we don't have. We talk a lot about here that we will export, but yet we have not created nurseries, enough nurseries, where we can supply these saplings to farmers. We are asking farmers come and cultivate, but we don't have nurseries. And nurseries with high quality breeds, high quality breeds. These are obstacles. Ignorance of sustainable harvest and value addition. Still we are not aware about, like I said, that in India, the 80% supply is still coming from forests. 80% supply. There is only 20% that is coming from cultivation. We are not cultivating. We are still going to forests. And what will happen? Once you take the plant, you don't care about its cultivation there. But if you have own farm, you will cultivate every year. You will care about it. These are the obstacles in having this. Now, what is happening? There is now a hope. What is happening? These were the obstacles, but there are things are going already in the market, like contract farming, where these like Himalaya, Ayurveda, or Patanjali, they are going to farmers and asking them that for contract farming. They give them contracts. Like we have from farmers' point of view, contract farming can provide access to market. You can have access to market, credit, technology, and input that they would otherwise be excluded. Moreover, contract farming can lead to improvement in income, reducing some risk farmers face from production and price fluctuation. You are guaranteed price. These companies will help you to cultivate the hybrid products if you will enter into the contract farm with these companies. But again, they are the companies who are competing internationally. The pressure they will bring on you for the quality would be huge. Are you ready to absorb that pressure? Or you are going to, okay, I am cultivating something, like where we call this now production concept. In marketing we say production concept. उसका अगर मैं ऐसे बताऊं कि वो है कि जो मैंने बनाया है लोग खरीद लें. Second, marketing concept. आप ये देख रहे लोग क्या चाहते हैं, उस हिसाब से काम. That's a shift in your perspective. आप क्या प्रोड्यूस कर रहे लोग खरीदेंगे, ऐसा नहीं. There are 1,000 alternatives in the market. दूसरा है आप सर्वे करेंगे कि आपकी कंपनी या आपका कंज्यूमर क्या चाहता है. That's called a market. जैसे आप बार बार कहते हैं marketing. What is marketing? Marketing is to look at the need of the customer. See things from the perspective of the customer, not yours. मैंने एक बाग बनाया है, अब जो इसमें उगता है लोगों को खरीदना, वो मजबूर नहीं है। हाँ, मजबूर तब होते हो जब अल्टरनेटिव्स नहीं, बट दे हैव अल्टरनेटिव। लुक थिंग्स फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ द कस्टमर, वो क्या चाहता है। लाइक फ्रॉम द पॉइंट व्यू ऑफ परचेज, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट फार्मिंग प्रोवाइड्स ग्रेटर कंट्रोल ओवर वॉल्यूम एंड क्वालिटी कंसिस्टेंसी। उन्हें पता है कि वो आपको पहले एक स्पेसिफिकेशन देते हैं कि उन्हें क्या चाहिए, what they are looking for. To certain extent, it can also lower certain transaction and production costs the purchaser face. ये उनकी अपनी सेफ्टी है कि वो भी सिक्योर होते हैं कि उनकी कंटिन्यूसली सप्लाई लाइन जारी रहे। Now, development and sustainable management of medicinal plants by आयुष जो इंडिया ने लॉन्च किया है, तो वो क्या देखता है, कल्टिवेशन फॉलोइंग द गुड एग्रीकल्चर एंड कलेक्शन प्रैक्टिस to promote standardization and quality assurance, thereby enhance accessibility of oil system globally and increase exports of value-added items like herbal extracts, phytochemicals, dietary supplements, cosmeticals and Ayush products. उन्होंने already ये काम कर रहे हैं under this ministry, Ayush ministry के अंदर ही काम कर रहे हैं। Support setting up processing clusters through convergence of cultivation, warehouse, value-added and marketing development of infrastructure of entrepreneurs. Marketing में ही help करते हैं, market करने में help करते हैं, entrepreneurs को help करते हैं, new ideas generate करने में, promote partnership, convergence and synergy among stakeholders involved R&D, processing and marketing in public as well as private sector and national. ये initiative है आयुष ने लिया हुआ है। एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन ऑफ मैप्स इनिशिएटिव्स इन इंडिया, इंडिया क्या काम कर रहा है इस डायरेक्शन में। दे आर डूइंग दिस फार्मास्यूटिकल एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन काउंसिल, शेल एंड फॉरेस्ट प्रोडक्ट एंड एक्सपोर्ट प्रमोशन हेडक्वार्टर्स, दीज EPCs facilitate export community and undertake various promotional measures for promoting export of their products. You have set up there, you have machinery there, they will help you to export the products. If only you are able to supply them the requisite supply and quality. Merchandise export from India scheme, again government of India ने launch की ये scheme। इसके तहत क्या करते हैं, incentive to exporting community for specified goods so as to offset infrastructure inefficiencies, उसमें ये काम करते हैं। Associated cost of exporting products gives special emphasis to these which are India's export interest and have the capability to generate employment and India's competitiveness. That's the most important in international market, that we call this the concept of competitiveness. Are you competitive? International global market is not going to accept substandard products. These organizations help him to bring this competitiveness in the world. This is a international cooperation scheme of Ayush, again ministry. It provides financial assistance to exporters for participation in trade fairs, organizing international business meets and conference and product registration reimbursement. Like how you generate ideas, how you meet new people through conferences, seminars. Like you are here, you will meet experts, they will show you how to cultivate, they will show you what market there is, they will show you what are the processes. Maybe in such kind of trade fairs you will meet those who are ready to buy your product, who are ready to enter into contracting. Then you have to participate in businesses like we said कि like Chinese said that if you don't know how to smile, you ought not to open a shop. There's a merchant, you have to be merchant. Merchant का एक ethics अलग होता है। देखिए merchant का, मैं हमेशा कहता हूँ merchant का कोई मजहब नहीं होता, merchant का मजहब एक ही होता है, that's business। वो अगर किसी भी पेन में अगर उसे कस्टमर कितना भी बुरा लगे वो फिर भी मुस्कुराता है। That's how to do business. It's not about the attitude. It's not. If tomorrow your contract is not going, you should not. You should try more and more. Maybe next time you will get the contract from these in these trade fairs, or you will need some expert who can help you cultivate new breeds. Maybe you will get some contractor who can give the contract. They are this international cooperation scheme of Ayush Ministry. Ayush. They are organizing these trade fairs so that you can build these connections. What we call it, you can connect with this supply chain from cultivation to market. One enterprise can't do everything. It's a very huge supply line. Either you are at marketing, either you are at cultivation. It's only the companies like, or I will say, have you heard the name about Walmart?
Yes.
Walmart, like we have Amazon. Walmart started its business with a coffee shop. Just a coffee shop. Today, Walmart has a supply line all over the world. Its budget is such huge that it can run Indian economy for 10 years. They began with coffee shop. That was their business. Now they went to Brazil. Down the line, they bought these gardens of coffees. But after 30, 40 years, initially they were just serving the coffee to the people. He would have never thought about this, that one day my business will be so huge. Just a coffee shop. Now imagine how much potential we have. Not to cultivate many species, just concentrate on one. Be expert. Get a good breed. Patent it. Sell to the international market. That's how businesses are happening. Developing international collaboration, like they have international collaboration, that's a National Medical Plant Board in the field of medical plants with other countries. What they actually do. Setting up information centers on medical plant in Indian Mission Abroad. They set medical classes. That means, in other words, they are marketing your products. They are telling people what it is like. You have the huge marketing of Ayurveda, yoga, all these things. Provide financial assistance for acquiring international certifications. That's most important, acquire international certification. They are helping you. This ministry is helping you to provide financial assistance for acquiring international certifications. Again, the question boils down to quality. Is your product of a such quality? Subsidizing specific market promotion activities like product registration. They are doing it. Positive lifting up Indian botanicals in importing country. जो इम्पोर्टिंग कंट्री है वहाँ पर इंडिया की बॉटनिकल गार्डन्स के बारे में या बॉटनिकल प्रोडक्ट्स के बारे में हमको बताना, अपलिफ्ट करना. इट्स अ मार्केटिंग. व्हाट इंडिया इज एक्चुअली डूइंग एट नेशनल लेवल, दे आर मार्केटिंग फॉर इट. They are going to the Western world and they are saying that look, Indian traditional system of medicine is superior. They are actually marketing. They are doing it for you. And West is accepting it. This is what we call a soft power, having a soft power in the international community. If you can market it successfully, people will buy. This marketing technique. Marketing is not like you have need. Look at this thing. Like I said, the marketing is not like you have to tell people you need it. That's the question. Like a simple example of, you have mobile phones. Most of you buy mobile phones, especially younger generations. What's the first thing you look at in mobile? Most of the people look for camera. Camera is not basic need. Especially selfie camera. That's not basic need. But marketing, the marketing has been done in such a way you feel that if there is no good selfie camera, the phone is not good. They have tuned you in that fashion. So if you have product, for example, you are cultivating product, you have to go to the market, you have to convince the people, look, this product is your basic need. In international business or international trade, we have some specification. For example, they will say that we are not going to buy it. There are some things which are not acceptable to us. They are resolving that. They sometimes keep a particular product in a banning list. Ban it. Why? Maybe they have such products in their own market. They want to cultivate or they want to promote their own, and banning those who are importing. Like we have in 2000s, there was a study done in Kashmir University, one of the professors in history. In his thesis, he wrote that the carpet industry in Kashmir is using child labor. Okay, this here it was not child labor, it was a family business. It does not come under this, but he used the word child labor. What Germany did, they took his thesis, quoted it, and banned imports from Kashmir. They contain child labor. We're not going to work. This is the little thing, but it is very important international. These are removing these bottlenecks. Why you are putting our product in a particular list, in a black list? They are resolved. They are doing these things for research and development and product innovation. They are doing it. Again, the global training partnership scheme is there through Indian government. Initiative between IU, CSR and ICM will work together to bring safe, effective and standardized Ayurvedic products for identify disease conditions to develop new Ayurvedic and plant-based products, effective in the disease condition of national and global importance. They are doing R&D, creating new medicines like अभी जो हमारे जो एक रिसोर्स पर्सन बोल रहे थे कि कुछ प्लांट्स से उनका ये यूज़ है वो ट्रेडिशनल यूज़ है. क्या उन पे रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट हो सकता है कि उनको एक मॉडर्न टेक्निक मेडिसिन बनाया जाए? For that you need R&D. Now I will conclude with this a way forward. There are huge potentials in the international market. There is global market, there is national market. But the thing is, are we ready to go for it? The first thing is access to conservation and establishment of more herbal nurseries. Like you can't depend always on forests. You have to come out from forests if you are really serious about this. And before access to conservation, you have to develop nurseries and high quality. Like one way is that bringing a plant from forest and cultivating it. Second is doing R&D on it, creating a higher version, hybrid version of it. That is much better what is naturally available in forest. That will give an edge. Because it will be not any other plant that is found in forest. It will be something different. And for that, definitely you have to, the universities like we have here, has to do a lot of research on it. Scientists need to put their efforts. It's not only you are entrepreneurs, you will cultivate it. But there must be someone who will provide you the hybrid seeds that can be used for. Cultivation of maps on large scale and establishment of new startups, that's a must need, because look, these large companies, like I quoted the example of fish, they will say like, or resource person, they give us 2 tons. You can't say, no, I am not giving you 2 tons, I will give you 20 kg. What will they do? You have to build large scale production and new startups. And for having new startups, you have to be risk takers. maybe it would be failure for many years. Maybe you will not find a market for many years. That's a need. Are we ready to take risks? That's the most important thing in any business. Because whenever you come to the business field, it is risky. There are chances that it will be failure. There are chances. अगर ऐसा होता कि हर बिजनेस कामयाब होता तो हर एक बिजनेसमैन नहीं लेता. ऐसा नहीं. मैं भी 100 में से 10 लोग ही कामयाब हो जाए. Now you will feel the competition. It's not like मैंने अभी भी कहा कि ऐसा नहीं है कि जो आप ग्रो कर रहे हैं उसका मार्केट मिल जाएगा. नहीं, आपको एक तो मार्केट फाइंड आउट करना है या ये देखना है कि मार्केट क्या चाहता है वो ग्रो करना. या तो आप में इतनी कैपेबिलिटी हो आप मार्केट को मनवा सके कि यही आपको चाहिए. उसके लिए तो टाइम चाहिए. या मार्केट को वो दे दो जो वो चाहता है, जो उन्होंने एस्टैब्लिश ऑलरेडी किया हुआ है. बट द थिंग इज यू हैव टू हैव लार्ज स्केल प्रोडक्शन, ताकि जो कंपनी आगे फॉर एग्जांपल आयुर्वेदा है या डाबर है, ये दुनिया को सप्लाई कर रहे हैं. कल जाके इसकी सप्लाई लाइन बैठ गई. कौन बिजनेस रिस्क लेना चाहेगा कि उसकी सप्लाई लाइन कट हो रही है? उन्होंने ऑलरेडी बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स इन्वेस्ट किए होंगे. दे आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन द सप्लाई लाइन. कल जाके आपकी सप्लाई नहीं आ रही. तो वो चीज़ है इंटरनेशनल मार्केट में. मतलब आप एक तो होता है कि आप अगर आपका बिग आइडिया नहीं है, आपको लोकली कल्टीवेट करना है, बस 10-15 लोगों तक रखना है, वो अलग. If you want to do something big, then you need to put your all efforts, because you have to survive in international market. देखिए अगर आप एग्जाम्पल ले, दुनिया में कितने होंगे जो कल्टीवेट करते हैं? There will be millions. लेकिन उन मिलियंस में कितने कामयाब? फिर आप उससे अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि वो कितनी मेहनत करते होंगे, वो कितना एफर्ट लगाते होंगे. तो ओवर द नाइट ये बिजनेसेस एस्टैब्लिश नहीं हो. विनिंग ओवर मार्केट बाय क्वालिटी. अगेन क्वालिटी, जैसे मैंने कहा चाइना ने एक उन्होंने मेंटेन किया हुआ उनकी क्वालिटी बहुत अच्छी, बिकॉज दे आर इन्वेस्टेड इन दिस मार्केट. दे आर इन्वेस्टिंग सिंस लास्ट 40 years. 1980s में शुरू किया था, तब से वो दुनिया में प्रमोट कर रहे हैं अपना मार्केट, अपने प्रोडक्ट्स प्रमोट कर रहे हैं. 40 साल से ये काम कर रहे हैं, 40-50 साल से. तब जाके इंटरनेशनल, क्योंकि हर एक प्रोडक्ट क्या होता है, ग्रेडेशन होता है. आपने एक वैरायटी प्रोड्यूस की, फिर आपको लगा इसमें कोई कमी है, नया R&D हो गया, तो पहले तो कहीं शुरुआत हो जाए, फिर आप एक क्वालिटी पे पहुंच सकते. रिसर्च एंड एक्सपेंड ग्लोबली. रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट, ब्रीड न्यू ब्रीड्स को क्रिएट करो ताकि आप ग्लोबली मार्केट में जा सकें. प्लान एंड मार्केट डाइवर्सिफिकेशन. देखिए अभी ग्लोबल मार्केट में जो मेन कंज्यूमर्स हैं वो हैं US, जापान एंड यूरोप. बट द नीड इज टू डाइवर्ट टू रशिया, अफ्रीका, एशियन कंट्रीज. देयर इज ह्यूज मार्केट. इवन चाइना खुद बहुत बड़ा इंपोर्टर है. वो तो एक्सपोर्ट कर रहा है लेकिन खुद भी वो बहुत बड़ा इंपोर्टर है. थैंक यू. दिस वाज ऑल फ्रॉम माय साइड.
Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your time for almost 2 hours, more than 2 hours, and interacting with the students, because they are actually interacting with the different जो facets इस training के हैं, whether it is export, industry, ground level पे जो cultivate करते हैं, जो बनाते हैं, तो it gives them an exposure. It may not be a practical exposure. Sometimes it's practical exposure. Sometimes it is a theoretical exposure as well. Gaining even an iota of knowledge from a person who has lots of expertise and who has gained its expertise since years is much more than what you go through a video. Sometimes अभी YouTube वगैरह मीडिया की बात चल रही थी, सुबह भी हमने मीडिया का देखा कितना ये है. तो जो इम्पैक्ट है मीडिया का वो बहुत पॉजिटिव भी है, नेगेटिव भी है. अब आप उसको कैसे यूटिलाइज करेंगे ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है। और मीडिया का रोल तो है, बट मीडिया का मेन जो फोकस है ना, वो अपने जैसे यूट्यूब को ही ले लें, सब्सक्राइबर्स बढ़ाना है, क्योंकि उसको पैसा बनाना है। अल्टीमेटली द एंड गेम जो होती है ना, वो एंड पैसे पे ही हो रही है वहां पे भी। बिजनेस, इट्स अ बिजनेस एज वेल। The more subscribers a YouTuber has, the more business he makes. So he does not rely on कि आप पे क्या impact पड़ेगा, दूसरे पे क्या, जितनी वायरल उसकी वीडियो होगी उतना उसको पैसा मिलेगा। So ultimately ये वही गोल पे आ जाता है कि मेकिंग मनी, गेटिंग, उसका पॉपुलराइजेशन से वीडियो ये पैसा बनता है। एक साइंटिस्ट का उसकी इनोवेशन को कामयाबी से प्रैक्टिकल फील्ड में लाने से उसका काम बनता है। और एक साइंटिस्ट का अप्रोच डिफरेंट होगा, एक यूट्यूबर का अप्रोच डिफरेंट होगा। साइंटिस्ट को सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलेगी कि जो मैंने इतने सालों की मेहनत की है उसने सक्सेसफुली प्रैक्टिकली कुछ करके दिखाया, किसी को कोई फायदा हुआ। सो अप्रोच हर एक का डिफरेंट रहता है। सो थैंक यू सो मच सर फॉर योर टाइम and your expertise and interaction with our participants. As a token of our respect and appreciation, we present to you this memento. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So we will be going for the lunch break, but you will take